always get a bunch of views, but about a third of that in the thumbs up. I don't even care about the thumbs down. It's activity on the channel. So either way you want to do it. Well, I'm on the way back to the farm with a load in the back seat and in the back, emptying my house. I sold my little gingerbread house to get my solar system. I've just about sold everything but my clothes. Well, I still have all my furniture, my clothes, and my jewelry. So, of course, coming live. Hey there! How are you, shoestring prepper? It's hard for me to see. I don't think they made my glasses right. Everybody listened to me complain for a year about getting my Michelle. Hey, darling. No more gingerbread house, no more gingerbread house. I had that video up. I had that thing decorated so cute. Love that little house, but I need, hey, James. I am doing better. Let me tell y'all my illness saga. Y'all know I had the CV. Hey there, I can't see who it is. This watch chat, so y'all forgive me. I'll go back and look at chat every once in a while. I can catch something. You know, I had that, was really down for 7 weeks. I can tell y'all that crap is real. It just poisons your whole system. Well, y'all saw me on that video talking about it. Oh, mercy. Lost weight, needed to lose weight, so that was a bonus. I had about one good day and was sitting, oh, here there, Marie. I'm on my way to the farm with my last load from my little house I sold. That little cabin has now become a storage building. We got to get up there and get a storage building. But I had one good day and I was sitting on the front porch and I thought, you know, I think I'm going to go down to that house and load the rest of that stuff up and get it to the farm. And I thought, well, I'll finish this cigarette and take off down there. And I had my pop sitting on the table and I didn't pay any attention and picked it up and there was a bee in it and it stung my tongue 3 times. I had to pull the stinger out of my lip. I'm highly allergic to bees. Gives me flu-like symptoms. So I spent a week sick from that. Had a good day. Did that Saturday night live a couple of weeks ago and told y'all I'd go live on Sunday because I was feeling pretty good. Well, during that Saturday night live, I got bit by a spider 3 times, which I'm allergic to, and that made me sick. I had one good day and came down with sinus infection that kept triggering migraines, and got over that, and on Monday and Tuesday had a pretty decent day. And Tuesday night, I ended up with an MS relapse. So today's my first good day from that. So I have been sick forever, y'all. And I'm supposed to be having an abdominal hernia surgery. Well, I've had 2 of those. I know how long that takes me to get over. Hey, Rip Girl. Thank you, Lenny. I know it's been a mess. So, I got this load, gonna take it up here. It'll be after dark before I get to drive back, so I won't do a drive-by. I'm not staying. I gotta get little Ethan tomorrow, but I just had a heck of a time. I got sick on the 28th of August, and I've had 3 decent days since the 28th of August. I'm telling y'all. Somebody, I did put that under a post on one of the videos, a little blurb of it, and Michelle, I think, somebody said that I was under attack. Listen, Satan cannot stand. He has thrown just about everything in the world but the kitchen sink at me on a regular basis. And he just needs to give up. He's not going to change my mind. I know where I'm going. I let somebody drive my truck. I think they knocked it out of alignment. The four-wheel drive don't work, so I'm going to have to put my truck in the shop. Because, you know, we never know what these winters are going to be now. I never talk a whole lot about the grand solar minimum, but that's real. I even did a research paper on it. I have one class I needed to do one when I was working on my bachelor's degree, and I chose sun cycles. And they're real. Those sun cycles are real. So our weather's going to be crazy. Oh, Lord, I hope I don't forget to get my aloe vera plants while I'm up here this time. Because it's going to be in the 30s at night here this coming week. It's been in the 40s. But let me see. There was something I was going to tell y'all. Y'all saw my post on the 2 barges. Did y'all see my community post on the 2 barges on the Ohio River? Now, our state's dumb. You know, when borders 2 states, one state owns their side of the river and the other state owns their side of the river. Well, for some reason, my state decided they needed to own both sides of the river, which means West Virginia's responsible for the bridges. But anyway, I put on a community post that they had gotten a barge a week ago Thursday, and tomorrow will be a week ago Monday, that there were barges with explosive materials on them. Well, it turns out that it was in less than a week's time, 2 barges and a tugboat and a total of 40 pipe boom booms. And the one barge was carried to gravel. What better shrapnel to have? So y'all need to be watching your rivers if you live in a community that's on a river. I would say, I was really surprised at Ohio. I would say the Mississippi would be. There's all kinds of rivers, all kinds of power plants on the rivers, all kinds of stuff. But 2 barges and a tugboat with explosive pipe boom booms. Let me see. I wanted to tell y'all that. There was something else. And I can't see chat for y'all to trigger me to talk about anything. I don't remember what the other thing was. Oh, our governor signed into law a bill last week. And I've got to be careful. When I went to my Homestead channel name, I took a bunch of my chat and Mental Health Monday video on private. And somebody said, oh, Sunny Preps was looking for my Mexican cornbread recipe. Gosh, I didn't realize that thing. I was in my house. I don't know why it broke up so bad. It's horrible. That's the worst video I've ever done. It was all digital, and you could only get bits and pieces there. But anyway, I noticed there was a bunch more of my videos put on private. And so I took them off of private, and the last videos that y'all saw, that y'all thought I went live, for some reason, some technical difficulty with YT, didn't put them in their right place and made them look like they were new, a new live and a new video. The cooking on a wood stove, I did that last January, February, something like that. The live was 2 years ago. Well, I put those videos back up, and I got a message, an email from YT yesterday that it was, the title was I'm not a happy camper. What's happened to my country? And that was back last year when they were doing the face diaper mandate. But I don't recall me ever saying, do not do that. Go against your state laws, mandates, whatever. I give my opinion. So I appealed it with them and told them, last I checked, I was still under Constitution. I hadn't given any medical advice. I'm not a medical professional. I gave my opinion lightly. But anyway, so they took it down. So, and it was an old one. I can't see who. Dusty Country Roads. Hey there. Oh, I gotta turn this heat down. Woohoo, I'm burning up. Been outside with the coat on. Let me see, it's 54 degrees. Oh my Lord. And it's 5:05 Eastern Standard Time. Let me see. I was gonna, so I gave you the YT gossip. But our governor signed into law a bill put on his desk last week that none of our state businesses were allowed to fire anybody over not taking any juice. Somebody let me know. I can see the blue wrenches better. Hey, Josh. If apple juice comes in here, God love him, I did that live and he spoke to me 2 or 3 times, said you better speak to me. And I didn't see it till I was watching the chat replay, and I didn't speak to apple juice. Oh Lord, that made me feel bad. Everybody that's been with, I like to speak to everybody, but y'all know I can't watch it. But people that have been with me a long time and they get unsubscribed or whatever and come back, I hated I missed apple juice. But anyway, but it doesn't, that law he signed into effect does not take place until January. So these companies with over 100 employees aren't firing anybody over it. But let me tell you what they're doing. I know somebody that went to work, brand new person on the job, sick as a dog with you know what. Supposedly, his story was the wife wouldn't let him miss work. He gave that crap to everybody. And that company's not firing anybody over mandates of over 100 employees. But guess what? If you haven't had that job, they won't let you collect your sick pay. And let me tell you what, even the youngest person would have to be, hey Gloria, and Gloria, oh, that's two Glorias, sweet savory words, and Gloria, I think it was Miller, so they're making them be off sick with, I mean, they've earned that sick pay. It's in their contracts they sign. Can y'all hear me? Do I have my speaker covered up? Oh, I just shifted everything in the back of my truck. Did I have my speaker covered up? I can't remember which side it's on. Can y'all hear me? Give me a couple of ones if y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Yes? Okay. All right, I got you. So that's how our companies in our state are sticking it to people with no job. I only caught a snippet because when I'm having a relapse, my hearing is very, very sensitive, and my vision, I can't stand light or noise. Actually, I'm talking too loud so y'all can hear me. It's rattling in my brain. What brain I have left. I'll say. So no, they're not firing anybody, but they're sticking it to them with their sick pay. And let me tell you, there's no way in the world you can work with that crap. Now, the person I know who got it is real young and healthy and thin and no autoimmune deficiency disorders that we're aware of at this point. But that's just ridiculous. I mean, you miss pay without your sick leave. I mean, that's a whole paycheck. 2 weeks. And I don't know how it fell in the pay period if they lose a week on one. I don't know. But this is just a mess. Did y'all see that money that went from the Keebler Elf in Atlanta at the C to the D to the C about those beagles? Did y'all see that research that they're doing over in the C country on those? Yeah, it's hard to tell, Brian Griffin. It's hard to tell. I don't trust anything. That's awful. I never thought in my life I'd ever be untrusting or even fearful of my own country. Y'all didn't hear about the beagles that are being experimented on? I forget how many hundreds of thousands. The Keebler Elf. Do y'all know who I'm talking about? F-A-U-C-H-I. Hundreds of thousands. It is not supposed to be sent. Sent 44 beagles over there. Yeah, it's sick. He's sick. And they did surgery on the beagles to remove their larynx and vocal cords, so the people that were doing the experiments didn't have to listen to whining and barking dogs. And they used beagles because they seem to be the most docile of the canine breed. And they would have had to have strapped their little bodies down. The only thing the picture showed was a white mesh net box over the puppies' heads with sand fleas or sand flies. I don't know. It's when my son was in the Marines in Camp Lejeune, he lost feeling in both of his arms from sand fleas holding his rifle, and he couldn't move and shoo them off of him. But they leave those beagles with just their heads in that mesh box with God only knows how many sand fleas, and let them eat those dogs' heads alive till they're dead. Nobody's ever told what that experimentation was for that I've heard. And if y'all know, put it in chat. I'll read it after a while. But, you know, the HIV back in the 80s was a disease that came from rhesus monkeys. Okay? He was in charge down there when all of a sudden that rhesus monkey disease hopped over to humans. Now we know that supposedly this bat thing jumped over to humans, was weaponized. They got sued over the research they were doing with HIV. Y'all know that there were people reportedly in California with this juice they want to jab everybody with that has tested positive for that. Now, that's the virus. I don't know how. I don't remember. I did research on it back years ago when it's prevalent in the 80s. I don't remember now how it turns to the AIDS. But he was in on that mess. And somebody with a big name that played basketball that was magical on the court got a group and sued that bunch. How much do you hear about that H reported that tested positive after the jab? So you've got that in the 80s. You've got this now. I can't believe. Now, y'all know PETA gets on a ripping about something. Oh, Lord have mercy. They don't ever shut up. They stopped any of us from being able to wear our fur coats, throwing blood on people in New York City that had on a real fur coat. Oh, gosh, I wish I could read y'all's chat. But I've got help to unload my... But now, bills, you know, I'm not a big tree hugger. I don't want, and attack somebody. Now, if I see an animal mistreated, I'll call animal control. I would do that. But my God, what kind of, big, sweet little puppies, put them alive with a sand flies or fleas or whatever it was until they eat them alive. I mean, what kind of research? They've got him on that. He was saying, oh, well, I didn't know we were going to have any significant findings. You can't get me on that. What is that research called? I knew it. Shit. I can't remember. But anyway, read all that. It went away too fast, and I'm going through this little town. Yes, it's like, I have never in my life prayed anything negative. Nothing. But after everything that's gone on, I had been praying for God to please soften the hearts and open the mind of these people in control and help us. But I honestly prayed for God to take those evil people down by whatever means he sees fit. Whatever he wants to do to them, take them down. I mean, this is just out of, it's beyond, I cannot wrap my head around all this, y'all. What kind of research are they doing to kill them little puppies? Nothing. And when psychiatrists doing a bunch of research trying to figure out about separation and bonding and all of that, I used kids. They experimented with kids. So they made it illegal to experiment with children. So then they took monkeys and the baby monkeys, and they made a chair like a car seat and put a nipple on the car seat and kept plenty of milk in that nipple on that car seat. But there was nothing to touch that little baby monkey. And then they had the other monkey that was with its mom and nursed off of her teats. And of course, they, groom them and pet them. And that was only had its nutrition in that car seat looking thing, died. And that is how they did the research and came up with the failure to thrive. Whatever. It's failure to thrive. Even an older child, a toddler. And then they outlawed, after that monkey died, and there was a couple other experiments they did with animals, they outlawed it that you cannot do any kind of experiments in the United States with animals like that. So that Ralph sent hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think it's like $700,000 or something crazy, 7,100. I forget now what he sent to that crazy country to kill them little puppies. Okay, that's my rant about the puppies. Okay, no more. But I'm looking to see. I didn't see the other one. And usually gas is way cheaper here than it is where I live. Let me see. Stay in prayer. But I truly believe with the WARS that we've been involved in, reason whatsoever, just killing to get something out of it, oil or gas or who knows. Then of course we've got the abortion that God clearly speaks against. Then we got in the state of Virginia, you know, I said the minute they said, oh yeah, people use the bathroom for the sex they identify with. I said the minute, I don't think I said it in private, but the minute they said that, you know, that's just going to open that up for sexual predators. That little girl got raped. Did y'all hear that in Virginia? In the school bathroom by a transgender male that still had his junk. The Board of Education of that county found out about it. It was reported. And they shipped him to another county. And he raped another girl. So that very well may be, but now, if they hadn't monkeyed with votes, mail-in stuff, I think Virginia would have been red instead of blue during the presidential election. But it's looking very likely that Virginia's going to turn red. Virginia's had it. There's a bunch of their counties that want to secede. They've had it with the liberal, you know, and of course, they border D.C., so they've got a big area that's liberals all get out. But they've tried to hide that. And now, if you go to a board meeting to try to protect children that you gave birth to, because most of them I've seen on there throwing fits women, very well educated, well spoken women, raising their voices. I'd be raising my voice too over this crap they're teaching in schools and throwing a fit over this in Virginia, over this trans raping 2 girls. The national head of the education, whoever, sent a letter to the DOJ that any parent that goes to a board meeting and creates a problem should be considered a homeland T-word. You know what I'm talking about, TERROR. And then, you know, you add the IST. There has been not one person raise one finger to harm one board member. They've opened their mouths and let people know they have a brain. But now they're considered, you know, supposedly they've got those congressional hearings going on, and oh, nothing ever comes out of that crap. They can congressional hearing it to death and point out everything in the world. They're not going to do anything with the Keebler-Elf. They're not going to do anything with the DOJ over this letter. They said from the time the letter came from the board that they needed protection from the Homeland Terror people, parents, active parents. 5 days. 5 days. You can't go to a board meeting and as much as raise your voice, you can be, you know, I had, right at the end of my boys being in school, and they graduated in 98, 2000. I was told over my youngest son, I had an issue. I don't even remember now what the issue was because I had to jump over to the new issue. They told me I had no right to an opinion over my child that because from the time the bell rang for school to take up until the time that kid got off of the bus and got home, the state owned my kids. I hope y'all know how well that went over. I was wanting to take him out of school early for some reason. They had something going on, didn't want me to, but it was important. I needed to do it. I never just took my kids out of school. And I said, I want to tell you right now, I carried that child in my body for 9 months. I gave birth through cesarean section with my body over my child. My name, Haitian. You don't own anything. I'll go get my child, and then I'll see you in court. We'll figure out who owns my child. So I had I had a couple of rounds with the educational system. We couldn't afford, when my boys were little, to put them in private school, and then by the time we could, they were, had their friends and their social life and sports, and oh my God, the world would have come to an end if we put them in private school. And my granddaughter's in private school, and I'm going to try to homeschool Ethan. But they tried that crap back in 2000. Even after that, my ex-husband went to the high school to get, they were sending all the kids on buses to the state. Sorry, don't know how I lost y'all. His son didn't want to go. He said there wasn't 20 kids left in that high school of over 2,000 students. And his dad went to get him. Well, I happen to have known the vice principal at the time for years, and he called me and said, she says I can't have him. And I said, you put Jackie on the phone. And I said, now, Jackie, I don't think you knew I was married to him, but I'm going to tell you right now, unless you want to have to go to the county board and them have their lawyers present with ours, you better call that boy out of class and send him out that door with his daddy. Now, that was in probably 2007, 8, 9. So they have been slowly working on this, trying to convince parents. And then of course, these liberal idiots that don't want to use their brain that God gave them. I swear, when God gave out brains to liberals, I think they thought he said trains, and they didn't want to take a ride and didn't show up to get their brain. It's craziness. And I wish I could see y'all's chat, because I'm on a rant. I'm up against a mountain here. It keeps knocking. I've never noticed it knocking. Maybe it's the sun, the solar flares, or whatever we're supposed to be getting. I noticed our phone's been wonky this weekend. Who knows? Because I've never lost cell service here to talk to y'all. But anyway, did I want to rant about anything else? I can't think of anything. Y'all say a prayer I stay healthy now. Listen, I am sick to death of being sick to death. Holy moly. I'm just not alone often enough to do lives with y'all. And then I got sick. I was going to show y'all my garden fails. Look, if anybody had a fail with their garden this year, don't feel bad. I've been gardening since I was... Oh, there we are. I swear, maybe it's the solar flares. They said we'd have trouble service. I've never, ever. And I have been driving, doing these drive time lives to the farm with y'all for a year. But, what was I saying? Oh, I have been in a garden planting and doing ever since I was big enough to walk behind my grandpa and help. But I'm in a different county. I did not get the soil tested. I'm going to do that. I looked it up. It's $40 a kit, or I think for free you can take it to your county extension office and have it tested. But I will be amending my soil before it starts to freeze. I'm not going to plant big gardens. I'm going to do greenhouses and put boxes in the greenhouses. But I did want to do a video, and then I got sick on the fail of my one garden. And then, of course, our potatoes didn't produce good. There was some grass. I don't know if birds come by and ever, just some invasive grass that was choking out everything. And of course, you know, I told y'all, people using that big garden, and the actual owner of the property got this huge idea, since there was so many yellow leaves on those potatoes, to brush hog it the second week of August. And if those green tops aren't growing, your potatoes aren't growing. So I don't think I ended up with 150 pounds of potatoes. So that was a real disappointment. I just hate it. But don't feel bad if you had garden failures this year. I really do believe, you know, I watch Deep South Homestead with Danny and Wanda a lot. Danny is a very smart man. He is very well versed in the Bible. He's very well versed. You know, those bigger channels have huge contacts. And he said stuff. I went back and watched a bunch of old videos once upon a time after I found him. He's been saying stuff for years that has come to pass. But he said that it's going to be very difficult for anybody above the 35th parallel to grow anything from here on out if you don't use a greenhouse to control your environment. And my farm is at the 37th parallel. So I'm going to have to do greenhouses. And he's saying above the 38th parallel, you're going to be lucky if you can grow anything, period, unless you have a heated greenhouse. But I have found nothing so far that he has not told that we don't already know, or when he told it 3-4 years ago, it hasn't come to fruition. Try clove. Hey, Tammy DeWitt. What are we trying clove for, honey? I missed chat. I'm going to go back and watch it. You don't have to retype it. Well, Alfred Phillips, how are you, honey? What's your temperature up there in Alaska? I'm at 50, balmy 54 degrees, but this week, every night, it's going to be down in the low 30s. We're supposed to get snow one night. And you know, I got sick and didn't get to take care of my, a toothache. I have ordered a toothache plant seeds. They're flowers. They're real cute, real pretty flowers, but it numbs your whole mouth. In case anybody gets a toothache. Wish I could get my hands on some more fish mocks, but amoxicillin, but last time I checked, you couldn't. They had some stronger ones, but now I'm getting ready to start up the mountain to the farm, y'all. Excuse me. And I will lose you because I am fortunately in a dead zone up. I'm crossing the beautiful river. Don't look to be too high. But yeah, I'm in a dead zone up here, just exactly the way I like it. So anyway, I think that's all I wanted to cover with y'all. Give you some food for thought. Please, I do believe, I've said before, I think God has removed his hand of protection from this country. I honestly believe that. I believe that we will be attacked. I believe that it's getting ready to be, you know, watch the movie A Book of Eli. If y'all want to know what it's going to be like, it's Denzel Washington. Watch the movie. I watched that movie again last night. Watch the movie of The Book of Eli with Denzel Washington. I think I got it on Hulu. Hulu or one of them. Netflix. But I think it was Hulu that I was watching it on. You want to see what it's going to be like when those supersonic things, they're flying around, that they could drop anything on us, what it's going to be like? And they say, even in there, that after the big light, that a certain book, as many as they could find, was burned. You want to know what it's going to be like? Watch that movie. That's exactly what it's going to be like. And I don't care I mean, you're going to have to be rough or die to protect what you have. Or have you a big enough community that's... There we go. I'm Corey is in. Okay. So yes, spiritually prepared. We know the end of the story. Cooking all the cars behind me. If I lose ya, I'm just going to end it this time. Start cooking with your preps. Start rationing yourself. So before we get rations, which I believe is coming, we'll be ready. So I've got to go. I'm going to lose you. And the car's behind me. I can't stop like I had. And I love y'all with all my heart. You know I do. And I will go back and re-chat. So until next time, I see ya. Love ya. Appreciate every second you give me. Bye-bye. If I can get it to turn off. Well, that car... Oh, good. All right, y'all. Love you much.